Hi, I'm Lansing City Clerk Chris Swope, and I want to welcome you to our new, soon-to-be Lansing Elections Office here at 701 West Jolly Road. We purchased this building and are renovating it with some generous grants from the state of Michigan, made possible by our local legislators, including Senator Sarah Anthony, Senator Sam Singh, Representative Kara Hope, Representative Angela Whitwer, and Representative Emily Devendorf. So without them, this wouldn't have been possible. So thanks so much for their assistance. I'm here with Jack Shokha. He's with the Public Service Department of the City of Lansing. He's a building supervisor, and he's taking the lead on the renovations here. So looking forward to giving you a tour of the space. So here we are in the entrance. It's going to be very welcoming for voters when they come in to vote. And by the way, we bought this building just recently from the Salvation Army. It was their former distribution center. And thankfully, around the same time that we were getting ready to go, the city hired a licensed builder, and he got handed this project. So what are we doing in this space, Jack?
So right now, obviously, we demoed the whole space. We're still in that state. But we will be adding a new wall here that will have the vestibule in this area, and the reception will be this entire area. So this will be open to the public.
You know, when you come in to get an absentee ballot, this is where you'll stop, or any questions, voter registration. So this will be a full elections customer service space right here. So let's continue the tour. So this was actually the chapel for the Salvation Army. They had pews and everything in here, stained glass religious window. This space, when we're fully in, it's going to have two main purposes. When we do our election worker training, this is where we'll do it. So we'll be able to train our workers, teach them how to run an election, everything they need to know from A to Z. And then when we get to early voting, closer to an election, this will be our early voting space. So plenty of space for the voters to come in, cast their ballot. It'll really be an active space for our voters.
And we were able to disassemble all the pews that were in here and donate them to a church that helped them out quite a bit. The stained glass that was in the windows, we are actually donating to a church as well. And then when the renovation is done here, we will have desks for the classroom. There's going to be a drop-down screen for the projector. There's going to be ceiling fans here with about 3-foot square pendant lights that are coming down in each section. And the wooden beams will just stay as is.
Everything that we need and have needed for our election unit. This will be the 4th election space that we've had since I was clerk, and pretty much always before we've kind of been wedged in and hard to find. So this nice open space for our voters, as well as on a major thoroughfare here in the city of Lansing on Jolly Road. It's just going to be a great customer service space. I'm super excited for this. This may not seem like much, but it's a hallway. And if you voted early in the November election of 2024, you know that we had some lines. People were really excited to early vote in that big election. So we've got a plan. If we have lines, we've got a nice long hallway where people can circle back and forth. We won't have any need for people to be outside. It's just going to be a great waiting space. And so as we move this way, and you can see, now Jack, about where is the wall going to be here to end the public space?
So the public space is going to end right about here. So this will be a secured entrance for employees only. And this is how far the visitors can wrap around in the line.
And then we're also, we're restrooms on the other side. We're actually splitting them up and making this a public restroom just to make sure that we have adequate coverage for people as they're waiting in line. Behind the wall that will be here, you know, with elections, we have a lot of equipment. We have tabulators for the voters to use. We have the voter assist terminal that helps people with disabilities independently mark their ballots. So those have to be stored in a temperature-controlled, humidity-controlled environment. So they'll be here. Also, before every election, we have to program them and test them to make sure that they accurately reflect the voters' intent. So there's a lot of processing that we have to do. So this will be our space where we have those tabulators and are able to work with them. So some of the things that we need are
Lots of plugs.
lots of plugs.
Which we will have. So we're going to have all the plugs all around the entire perimeter of this secured storage here.
Can you share about the loading dock? Because how many semi-trips have to go out?
Yeah, so before the elections, obviously, we have to take all these tabulators and voter assist terminals to the polling place. So we do have some nice double doors that we'll be able to load up the semi-trucks that we use to deliver them. We make depending on the size of the election, between 2 and 4 truckloads before every election. So it'll really be a nice, convenient space and nice and close to where the equipment is. Unlike the past couple of spaces, we've had a lot of length to move the stuff just to get it delivered to the truck.
And before we move forward a little bit, I just want to mention that the fridge that's in the background here, we were able to donate it to one of our firehouses. And we were also able to get one of the commercial hoods we got a credit for at our commercial vendor that is going to provide a second fridge freezer for a different firehouse. So that's pretty big for me.
That's great. That's great leveraging of what was here in the building. So if you've ever had the opportunity to work an election, you know that there are long days and long hours. So just to make sure that not only our staff, but our election workers who work the absent voter counting board and other things are well taken care of, we are going to have a break room and kitchen here so that we can provide coffee and all the various needs for our election workers. And because it was a former commercial kitchen, the Salvation Army used it as food prep. They had as Jack already mentioned, they had the commercial hood and a stove, so we're able to transform that. So tell us about what we're going to have here.
Yeah, so this is going to be a wraparound break room. This is where the commercial hood that we removed for one of our firehouses. They have the existing grease trap that we're going to remove. They had a big commercial sink that we removed and also donated. But this will be only accessible from the interior area that's secure for employees only, obviously.
All right, great. Got to have the coffee.
What did I have for breakfast? Nothing.
Me neither, I'm hungry. Okay, so this is another room for election equipment. In addition to the tabulators and vats, we have things like voting booths and just all kinds of materials. Everything that you see when you walk into that polling place, a lot of that we bring in, the tables, sometimes the chairs, depending on what the location has. So this is where we'll put that other equipment together, get it ready, and then it's just a straight shot down the hall to that same exit. So we load up the trucks with all of the equipment for each polling place and make our rounds. So Jack, but we've done some great things with this building. What do you think about it?
So I really like the building. It has great bones. It was built in the 90s. So that really helps that it was abiding by modern building code. And that really helps with the cost of the renovation. We don't have to upgrade that much. We are upgrading some of our mechanical equipment, our water heater, but other than that, with moving walls, it makes it a lot easier. And a room like this was 3 separate offices that we combined into one large storage space that we will then get to put a set of double doors here so that you can just wheel all your equipment straight out to the back to the loading dock.
Yeah, I remember asking for those double doors. I'm like, I want a nice wide path so that we don't have to squeeze, because we put a lot of the stuff in these boxes that are about the width of most doors. So having just a nice wide path is going to be really great for my staff, and my staff has thanked me and they've given me some direction and guidance on what we should do. Do you know the history of this building?
From what I understand, this used to be a hairstylist school, I think, at one point, and then it became the Salvation Army.
Yeah, it was Douglas J. Hair School. So any hairdressers out there, anybody who came to school here, get in touch with us. We'd love to hear some stories.
So
I love
the hairstylist school, that explains a lot. When we were in the demo process, we would find a lot of plumbing behind walls. So that explains they probably had chairs and sinks.
They had many more sinks than what Salvation
So we uncovered
Army
a lot of that in the demo.
Wow, interesting. So this space is going to be our offices. So it's going to be split up. We're going to have a couple of offices here, an office and a little meeting room over there, and then a big workspace and meeting room right here in the middle. So the open workspace will have a nice window. That's one thing with this building, there aren't a ton of windows, so I did include in the plans a couple of additional windows. Got to have the light, right?
So you will have a couple windows in your office, and we are going to open up a pretty big opening here to access the common area for everyone, and maybe put a big conference table. And then in that corner, that'll be the huddle room for you and your team, probably with a TV for any conferences that you want to have.
Okay, great. You know, one of the problems that we've had in many of our spaces is when we're trying to have a staff meeting, especially around election time, we've never really had a place for a staff meeting where we could also cover voters coming in if they happen to come in during that time. So one of the things that I wanted is a clear line of sight, so we're going to have that. So when we are having our staff meetings, we'll still be able to have great coverage of the counter if any voters come in. This building is actually kind of a tri-level. Around the edges of it, it's one story, and then in the middle, it's 2 stories, which is, I don't know if I've ever seen that kind of a layout. Have you?
I have not seen a layout like this.
Yeah, so pretty unique. But it gives us some extra floor space from what just the regular, flat floor plan would have been. So in this lower space, we are going to be doing our absent voter processing. Now, as you may know, Michigan has had some changes in election law over the past several years. Voters can vote absentee for no reason, as well as they can be on list to automatically get a ballot by absentee, by mail. And that has just really mushroomed the number of people voting by mail, which also means we need more time and space to process those absentee ballots. So this is going to be our absent voter counting board workroom where we process those ballots so that we make sure we do the double checks, that every ballot is counted, and all the processes that we do, we'll just have a great space to do it in.
Yeah, and as we started the project, this was actually a total of 6 individual offices that we demolished the entire space, and we plan on removing a couple of these load-bearing walls, putting steel beams to open up the entire space, and our team actually made a little hole behind Chris here, and that's how we're gonna bring in our steel beams into this area that we're gonna put up here and open up the whole thing.
Awesome, yeah. I was here when some of the demolition was going on, and I think they used that to get some of the stuff out. So I didn't know it was also going to be used to bring the stuff in. That's interesting. Great process. And so we did come down steps to get here, but on the other side there is a ramp, so it is fully ADA accessible. So any election workers or staff who would need to use a wheelchair or a walker will be able to get here. When we're processing absentee ballots, there is the ability for the public to observe, or for challengers from political parties and other groups. So anyone of any ability will be able to get in here.
Yep, absolutely. And I do want to also mention one of the cool things that we did discover during demolition was a floor safe that was cemented in the ground. We thought it would have some Douglas J secrets, but it did not have anything inside.
Was there any cash?
No cash.
Darn it. All right, so now we're in the upstairs portion, and this is primarily going to be our computer training room. So if you've gone to vote at a polling place, you know that they're checking you in with the computer. And obviously the election workers have to be trained to use that. So we have this training space that's going to be specialized for the computer training. Jack, what did we have to do to this space?
This used to be 3 separate offices that we completely opened up the entire space. And this is, right now we're actually standing on the floor where we just were in the basement where we're going to put the steel beams. So that is what those beams are going to be supporting. And this actually goes to the entire building all the way down to the foundation, and it's holding up the roof. Spans across the entire building actually.
Okay, well we want the roof to stay up.
We want the roof to stay, and we are actually going to put a lot of floor plugs in here for all the desks and equipment, computers. We're going to have 2 monitors back here so everyone can view anything they need to see.
Training materials, yep. Yeah, so it'll be a great training space. You know, with those computers, you can't just talk about it. You have to have the election workers do hands-on. So this will really give us some space. And you know, the last couple of spaces we had to have, you know, the ability to get into the floor and put floor plugs in is going to be great, because you know otherwise you have to have your desks a certain way and lined up. This is just really going to give us some flexibility.
No fire hazards here.
No fire hazards here.
With extension
no
cords.
extension cords.
All right.
All right. So again, we're upstairs, and as we pointed out, there's a ramp for the basement, but there isn't a ramp here. What there is a lift. Do you want to tell us about the lift and what we're going to do here?
So the vertical lift that's here, we're going to utilize the same size shaft, but we're going to upgrade the whole lift. Just a little bit more modern, stainless steel with glass, just so it doesn't look so rough.
Okay. So someone with in a wheelchair or walker can just take the lift and get right up here? And,
yep, it'll be completely ADA accessible.
Awesome, that's great. When the building's done though, it's not going to be open like this, right? What are we doing here?
No, we're actually building a landing over here that we're going to have secured access only for employees. This is where public access ends.
So we're back outside. The Salvation Army had a nice big sign here, and we are going to replace that with a nice big sign, so we're going to be totally visible for all the people driving by. And as you can see, there's a lot of traffic here on Jolly Road. We're right here at the corner of Jolly and Washington, and there's actually an entrance to the parking lot off of both streets, so it's really easy to get to. How many parking spaces are we going to have when
we
we're
have
done here?
a little over 80 spaces.
Okay, great. And not only that, we're going to have a drop box, you know, for the absentee voters. We now have all the drop boxes throughout the city. So we're going to have one here, and we're rearranging the parking a little bit to make it so that you can like drive up and put it in without getting out of your car.
Correct.
So that's going to be great.
Yep, we're going to resurface the entire parking lot, restripe it with arrows that you can come in off of Jolly, go around the island for the ballot box, drop off your ballots, and then just go around the island and leave right away. Or you can park or leave from the different entrance.
This is going to be a great building and something we've needed for a long time. The November 2025 election that has the mayor, city council on the ballot will be operated out of this space. So that's really exciting. I've been the city clerk for 19 years. This will be our 4th location that we are at, and it's the first one that really is made and designed for us. So I can't thank the legislature enough. I can't thank the Lansing voters enough for what we're going to have here. It's going to be a great space. And remember, you know, when you vote, you can vote at home, you can vote early, or you can vote election day. And this is going to be part of all of those processes to make sure that we have safe, secure, and accurate elections. So, Jack, thanks for your part in this. We're gonna have a great building, and it's going to be a legacy for the city of Lansing, a permanent home to run elections.
And I'm very grateful to be a part of it.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.